Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So today I am back. I want to talk about the 3 cars that I found across the online platforms. But more than anything, I'm very excited to share about a brand new platform that has come to my attention. And I got this email directly from the company. It is called SBX Cars. Yes, SBX Cars. It is a subsidiary from Supercar Blondie. And she has launched this awesome new website. In all honesty, feels a lot like Bring a Trailer Premium, Cars and Bids. The difference between SBX Cars and the other platforms that are currently in this space, it's only going to focus on premium cars. So you're only going to focus on the supercars and the hypercars. And I'm excited to see what this platform brings because Supercar Blondie is a powerhouse in the YouTube space. She has had access to some of the best cars over a long period of time. So to see her just focus on auctioning off some of the best cars that have existed in this space for a really long time is going to be exciting. And as I'm scrolling through the website and seeing some of the previews of some of the cars that are to come, I'm actually pretty excited about it. The first car that I'm going to focus on, in my opinion, is not a supercar, but it is featured on the website. It is this really cool Mercedes-Benz Wolf GD 250. It looks like a Jeep Wrangler, but it's a G-Wagon. The top comes down. It is such a cool car. It is in one of my favorite colors. It is yellow, just like my Porsche Cayenne that is sitting at home in New York. In case you're wondering, I'm still in Florida. That's why the surroundings look a lot different. But yeah, the yellow car, let's focus on that. The yellow Mercedes Wolf GD 250. This is a really cool car that really caught my attention. It is eye-popping. It looks like a taxi. And the best part of all is that this car is located in New York. So hopefully I have a chance to see this car in person. It is a really beautiful vehicle that has a 2.5 liter inline 5 engine, OM602 5-cylinder diesel engine. What I find fascinating about this is that the OM602 is very close to an OM617 5-cylinder diesel engine. The OM617 was the engine that was featured in my personal Mercedes 300D turbo diesel W123 chassis car. So you know that this engine is easily serviceable. Service can be done by any Mercedes mechanic. I think it's a wonderful thing. So if you have a competent Mercedes mechanic, service is easy to do. I remember the ease of use with this engine made it such a pleasure to drive. What made this engine fascinating was I was able to get a Haynes manual and I was able to figure things out on my own because the OM617 engine was such a easy engine to work on. Like all I had to do was monitor my glow plugs, monitor the spark plugs. Anybody could work on this car. I remember one day when I was still teaching in the classroom. Yes, my profession is teaching. So when I was in the classroom and my W123 wouldn't start, I pulled out the Haynes manual and I was able to figure out what my problem was and diagnose it within an hour. And 10 to 15 minutes later, I took a few wrenches and I was able to figure out what the problem was. I was able to do that on my own and I was able to start the car without a problem. That's the beauty of these old diesel Mercedes engines. This chassis just looks really beautiful. I mean, this is a really cool car. It'll definitely catch and turn a lot of heads, just like the rest of the supercars that are featured on this channel. So if you want something that is not going to be, say, your Tesla Cybertruck, or you want something that's a little bit more vintage, but you want to attract the same level of attention, I think a Mercedes-Benz Wolf GD 250 is your best bet. And that's my first pick for the day. The second car that I'm going to pick is from Bring a Trailer. The second car I'm picking today is from Bring a Trailer, and it's from Bring a Trailer Premium. And it is a 2018 Bugatti Chiron. There is 5 days left in this auction, and the current bid right now is at $3 million. Well, yeah, it's at $3,050,000, which that's a pretty big bid. That's a lot of money. The car only has 1,900 miles, and to be quite honest, that's not a lot of mileage. That's a really low mileage car. It's got a quad turbocharged 8-liter W16 engine, which I think is a marvel of engineering. It's a shame that this car wasn't driven more, because how could you not? I mean, the level of restraint and composure that one must exhibit in order to not drive this car more. I commend the owner of this car for holding himself back, but at the same time, what kind of joy is that in life if you don't drive your fun stuff? But, you know, who knows? Maybe the owner was scared of putting the car on the road and it losing value, or perhaps not using it to its full potential. I'm not sure. The maintenance records, I mean, I guess you're not worried about maintenance when you're paying $3 million for a car. But this thing has 10 radiators. I remember there was a story one time where T-Pain, he had the Bugatti Chiron, and he took it out and he drove the car regularly throughout Atlanta. He had brought in the car for service, and he saw what the service schedule was going to look like down the road, and he quickly got rid of the car, because he's like, if you change one radiator, you got to change 2 radiators. You got to change 3 radiators.
You got rid of your Bugatti?
Yeah, I put a hole in one of the 4 radiators that I didn't know about. The Bugatti apparently has 4 radiators, and I was hauling ass in it like a lot, and like I always push the gas down to the floor whenever I could, and I put a hole in one of the radiators so it was leaking the antifreeze. It was leaking antifreeze out of one of the shits. So they told me that I can't just replace one of the radiators. I got to replace the radiator and the spoiler for some reason. I don't even know what the spoiler got to fucking do with the radiators. But long story short, they said to fix one of the radiators, it was going to cost $90,000. And I was like, well, keep the car and sell it to somebody. Because I would make more money selling this shit than I would fucking fixing a goddamn radiator. And also, if I sell it, is what I told him is if I can sell it, like, I can get 3 cars for the price that I would get for that fucking car. I've been done with that shit.
Meanwhile, some cars like the air-cooled Porsches have no radiators. It's a beautiful thing. You just have oil coolers. But 10 radiators seems like a lot. But the upholstery in this car is what definitely stands out. You have that beautiful red leather. You have red guts. God. Oof. With this beautiful blue exterior. 2 previous owners, so this car has exchanged hands before. So yeah, Bring a Trailer Premium and SBX Cars, I could see them going head-to-head in competition. I like the fact that these online platforms are featuring cars that would normally be represented at Amelia Island or at Pebble Beach, but you're getting it to the bigger audience by being online for the course of 10 or 15 days, and everybody gets to see the car, and it's just not crossing the block or the stage in a matter of 13 seconds or 15 seconds, and maybe you don't get enough time. This democratizes the entire process, and it gives people an opportunity to see the car. And you could be anywhere in the world and you could bid on these cars, which I think is a really cool thing, and it's the future. So I commend all these different platforms for doing all these different strategies in order to bring the cars to the forefront so everybody can see them. And that is my second pick, this beautiful Bugatti Chiron. W16 with red leather. I mean, how can you resist? Such a cool car. And my third pick is also another Bring a Trailer car, a 1936 Bugatti Type 57 Ventoux Project. I think this car is very exciting because we're obsessed with the modern, but sometimes we forget where the cars come from. Like, you know, I love my 1988 Porsche 911. And then I have friends who are like, why don't you just get the new one? But I'm like, you have to know about the old one first before you can get into a new one. I'm more interested in the 356 than I am about the newest 911 variant. The off-roading the car is a beautiful car. Just to say less, the old cars are where everything starts, and everything starts for Bugatti with this 1936 Type 57. Ralph Lauren has one that's perfectly restored. All that exists here is a shell, and it's quite fascinating. You have a lot of toe with these wheels. Like cambers like this, toe is like this. The front wheels look like this, and it's quite odd, but that's how cars were in the 1930s, I suppose.
Tires are standing out, the coupe look pigeon-toed, I be in a different mode.
This is a premium listing. It has been off the road since the 1940s. My grandmother was a teenager then. I find this to be a very fascinating project. They know exactly what the paint configuration was. This was a black car with red leather upholstery. So this is a very awesome opportunity to take a car. And right now the bid is only $100,000. I anticipate it going high up. I expect this car to sell for maybe $500,000. From $500,000, you'll probably spend another $500,000 to make it perfect, and then you'll have a car that's worth triple that amount. But it requires an initial investment. It's a 4-speed manual transmission, so save the manuals. This is a cool car though. Like, it definitely captured my attention. There's even remnants of the original leather. I mean, it's the only leather that's left on the door cards. I don't know. I don't think I would. I mean, it would be cool to save the leather, but at the same time, what can be saved from this car if you're doing a complete restoration, right? So this is the third car that captured my attention. I'm excited about what's on Bring a Trailer Premium. I'm also excited about SBX Cars because, hey, one is not taking away from the other. Two can coexist at the same time. So I'm very excited about these different platforms. If you like what I had to say, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I just give my opinion on some of the cool cars that are coming out in the marketplace. And I hope to bring you some more cars in the near future. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.